With a solid 6-game win streak, the Rangers once again looking like the team that broke away from the AL West pack in July. And it's come together without MVP candidate Josh Hamilton. It's come together off the bats of David Murphy and Nelson Cruz. The speed of Julio Bourbon and Elvis Andrus. Not to mention the arms of every pitcher on the staff. It's come together with the efforts of the entire roster, and one thing in mind: you play the game hard every day, and it rewards you. Tonight, the homestand could end with a clean sweep. If Colby Lewis works the way he did in his last start, you can break out the brooms. That has gone really well so far for the Rangers. They're looking to kick it at 5-0 if they can beat the Tigers tonight. Then it's on the road and maybe coming back after that with something very nice to talk about. Along with Mr. Tom Grieve, I'm Josh Lewin. Thank you for making Ranger baseball a part of your Wednesday night tonight. Colby Lewis, I guess, really needed a win last time out, and in Toronto, he went out there and got it.
Yeah, he'd lost his last 7 decisions going into that ball game. The Rangers needed a win in Toronto, and I really think Colby threw the ball as well that day in Toronto as he has all season long. He spotted his fastball well, and when he needed to make a pitch to get a strikeout or get an out, he went to his slider. And very seldom did he throw it anywhere other than exactly where he was trying to throw it. A couple of walks in the game, 8 strikeouts, and complete command to win a big game on the road for the Rangers.
Yeah, nice to see Colby finally get that 10th win of the season. Number 11 is in range tonight if he can get a little bit of offensive support. And who else but David Murphy do you look to now to maybe supply that? Murphy's in with a 12-game hitting streak tonight. It's the Rangers and the Tigers when we come back. and poised to maybe grow that tonight. Let's go down to the field and say hello to Emily Jones.
That's right, Josh. The Rangers looking to keep up this momentum onto their final road trip of the regular season. In tonight's Geico quote, we asked Ron Washington if he's thought about the next time he plays here at the ballpark, he could very well be an AL West champ.
No, I really haven't thought about that. Once again, the only thing I'm thinking about is the Detroit Tigers for tonight. But if that happens, I think you'll finally see me bust out. But right now, I'm just trying to stay focused on what we have to do, not what might happen.
And of course, they haven't thought about it, you guys. And if they had, they can't talk about it. The magic number is still 10. We see it as a foregone conclusion. However, I will be glad when that X gets put beside the Rangers' name so we can start talking legitimately about the postseason. Josh, Tom, I'm sure you can identify.
Yeah, I mean, you're so right, Em. I mean, it's a weird one this year because, look, let's face it. I mean, unless there is a meltdown of nuclear proportions here, this thing is happening. And it's fun to think about, but nobody wants to talk about it yet. So that's fine. Let's see if the Rangers can get that lead to 10 tonight. The Detroit Tigers come out with Austin Jackson, Will Rhymes, and Johnny Damon off the top. Then the very dangerous Miguel Cabrera. Tigers, by the way, are 72 and 73 coming in. Rayburn and Bosch after Cabrera, Peralta, Inge, and Avila. As we've mentioned, Tag, you got Colby Lewis on the mound. He's now at 10 and 12.
Well, he's had an excellent season. His record could easily be much better than 10 and 12. He had a stretch where he had a bunch of no decisions where he was pitching very well. You could tell by his ERA, well under 4, that 10 and 12 just doesn't make any sense. Then you look at almost a strikeout per inning. He gets people out with runners on base. Gets a lot of fly balls, and he keeps a lot of them in the ballpark, too. It's been a solid season for Colby. And when the Rangers signed Colby, this is what they hoped would happen, and he's delivered.
Fires the first one of the night by Austin Jackson. That's a good sign because Jackson's 5 of 7 lifetime against Colby. Very pleasant night for baseball tonight. Last night we began with very threatening, very dark gray skies. We got blue skies tonight. And 90 degrees right on the button. That cutter from Colby Lewis makes it 1-2. It's a shame this was only a 5-game homestand, Tag. The Rangers playing some great baseball. And the weather's starting to cooperate now.
Yeah, and the good thing is the great baseball started the last 2 days in Toronto, too. So they brought a little 2-game winning streak home with them. And the homestand's gone great.
Jackson takes, and is just outside. He was struck out by Dustin Nippert in a big spot in the game yesterday. 4-4, bases loaded. I had forgotten to mention, Tom, that Jackson's the guy that hit that line drive off of Nippert's head in Detroit about 2 months ago. That was the first time that Nippert had faced Jackson since then, and what a time to face him. 4-4, bases loaded, tie game. The guy that just about ended your career, if not your life, standing up there at the plate, and Dustin got him. And a big lift for the Rangers in relief last night. Seemed like Derek Holland had good stuff, just didn't have the great command, and he was done after 4 innings. Not the strikeout that you were hoping for. It's a walk for Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson's a little bit prone to the strikeout, but he laid off a couple of fairly close and tempting pitches in that at bat to work the walk.
Check the Ranger defense with Hamilton still out. It's been essentially a couple of weeks since he's played the field. Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland around the horn. You got Benji Molina catching tonight. Not a lot of progress yet for Hambone, unfortunately. I guess the good news is you're 9 games up and you've still got 17 days left in the season before you really need him healthy. To have a 6-game win streak without Josh Hamilton, that is clutch. And the Rangers now 81 and 63 overall. Remember that predicted number of wins by The president, Nolan Ryan, was 92. Molina throws. Jackson safe.
Jackson had a pretty good lead, and you could see him leaning towards second base. Benji made a nice throw, got rid of it quickly right on the bag, but the nice lead, the good jump, stole that one on the pitcher, not Benji. The throw was perfect.
Great look at it with the Exmo camera. Hunter Wendelstedt with the call out there.
And Jackson's a major contender for Rookie of the Year. He's 23 out of 28 now stealing bases. Plays a great center field. He runs well. He throws well. He's hit over 300 all season long. Top 10 in hitting right now.
Rhymes pushing the bunt to third. Nobody's covering there. It's simply a play for Michael Young to make cross the diamond.
Yep, when you're trying to move the man from second to third, all you have to do is bunt it just like that, right straight at the third baseman, and there's nothing the defense can do.
Jim Leland suffering an 11-4 loss last night. His team giving up the last 10 runs in that game. A sloppy start to that game, Tag, but the Rangers tightened it up right around the midpoint.
Yeah, there were 3 unearned runs charged to Derek Holland, and the Tigers allowed some unearned runs as well. Wind was blowing in an unusual way last night. Caused some problems for Ian, for Nelly in right field. But fortunately, the Rangers scored enough runs to where it really didn't matter.
And the Rangers now 5-3 against Detroit. Shattered bat. Moreland, no way to come home because Jackson's just too fast. So the bat dies on Damon. But in memoriam, it is RBI number 47. 1-0 Tigers, and Miguel Cabrera comes up. The leadoff walk. Unfortunate. Colby had him with a couple strikes, just couldn't polish him off.
He got that cutter right in on Damon's fists. But with the infield back, all you have to do is keep from hitting a line drive or a pop-up at an infield, and you're going to get the run in, especially with Jackson running at third base.
If the Tigers were in contention, Miguel Cabrera would probably be right there, stride for stride with Josh Hamilton for MVP. He may still
forget Robinson Cano, too.
Yeah. Well, and if the Twins keep on doing what they're doing, you never know if one or two of their guys will get some top 3 voting. Without Ordonez in front of him, without Guillen behind him, he still had a great year. Those other 2 great Venezuelan hitters on the DL. You mentioned this yesterday, Tom. It's not like Cabrera has surged to have this kind of a season. This really, when you look at it, is kind of a typical season for Cabrera in many ways.
Well, he's reached the point where when the season starts, his base is probably 330 home runs and 100 RBIs and 30 doubles. That's probably where you start from with him. And in kind of an average year, it'd be right around those numbers. And a better than average year, it's what it is right now.
He was the only player besides Joe Mauer to get a first place MVP vote last year. Mauer gobbled up the other 27. Careful with him here. 2 walks in the inning. And a little bit of a flashback to yesterday with Derek Holland, who struggled with a couple walks in the first 2. Two prior starts this year for Colby against the Tigers, and in both of them 4 runs allowed in 7 innings. You look with Rayburn here, Tom, at 343 in the last 36. He's kind of their right-handed David Murphy. Decent enough outfielder. You can move him all around the lineup. And over the last 6 or 7 weeks, been about the best hitter on the team.
Yeah, he's not only hitting for average, he's hit some home runs in that time, too.
Just like Murphy. Looking for another home run. He belts it deep to left. And the aforementioned Murphy leaping, it hits the top of the wall and stays in play. It's 2-0 instead of 3-0 as Rayburn just missed. It danced on top of that cushion on the wall. Boy, very close to home run number 13 for Rayburn. Mike Maddox out to talk to Lewis.
I think it was Rayburn that hit the ball last night with men on to left field. Just like that, it didn't even get to the warning track. Unusual wind last night that was blowing in from left field. Blew the ball back, but not that time. Jim Leland's going to go out and chat with the third base umpire and see whether or not that ball's a home run. We'll get a good look at it right here. That is not even close to a home run.
You could actually see the give with the cushion right there. Now they went ahead and reviewed yesterday with Murphy at the plate.
That hit, that didn't even hit on top of the wall. Leland may get the umpires to go check the replay. I don't know. But if he does, he's going to lose for the second straight night.
Jerry Lane, the crew chief, and he's the guy that had to go in and look at the video yesterday.
One thing we found watching those kind of balls this year is you cannot tell with your eyes from down on the field. What looks to be 100% sure turns out that it's not always that way.
Jim Leland's going to go 0 for 2 in throwing the red challenge flag here.
You think there'd be someone up in the clubhouse with a monitor watching the game that would be able to come down and tell them don't waste your time.
Yeah, and that, you know, that's one tweak, to be honest with you, Tom, that I think really does need to, and it's a quick and easy tweak, just to say, look, you put an official, a replay official or something upstairs that's able to say, guys, don't even leave the field, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that didn't even hit the top of the wall.
Well, and now Colby Lewis, who's already kind of out of sorts here in this first inning, is going to have to wait 3 minutes while they go and look at something that doesn't need to be looked at.
Well, they thought they didn't need to look at it early in the year, and they didn't. Turned out they made the wrong call, so I applaud them for doing this. You can't tell. We've got the replay, so we know what happened. From down on the field, they don't know for sure what happened. They only know what they think they saw.
I know this is just like hot sports opinion stuff on my part. I don't mean to be all curmudgeonly and bitter about it, but, you know, on the one hand, Major League Baseball says we've got to move these games along. Got to get the games going quicker. I'll save you 3 minutes right here, boys. Put a replay official upstairs and just buzz down and say, man, keep playing. And again, with Colby just kind of being out of sorts here in the first inning, a delay for him may not be the best thing. Oh, good. This didn't take too long at all. They're back already. And again, that's just kind of the dichotomy of baseball. You know, I mean, for anybody who wants to complain about length of game, hey, you know, it is the one sport where there's a leisurely pace to it. Jerry Lane just kind of strolled over there. Hey, Jim, got to tell you something. Okay. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just kind of how it is.
Well,
anyway,
he could have come out of there and like sprinted up and slid in front of him like a head-first dive and jumped up and saved about 5 seconds.
That's when you can come out and say, sorry, Skip, play ball. Now, after all that, a little pop-up. Kinsler will handle this. And that'll do it. 2 runs in the top of the first, and that replay upheld. Andrews coming in to hit. The Ford F-150. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Jack in the Box right now, go to Jack in the Box and try Jack's new pastrami grilled sandwich. Oh, it's almost time. The Rangers with that magic number at 10. Trailing tonight, they were 2-0 early. Ranger lineup with Andrews, Young, and Murphy off the top. Then Big Bad Vlad, a 500 hitter the last week and a half. Cruz, Kinsler, and Moreland, Molina, and Bourbon against the guy that almost and should have had the perfect game back in June, Armando Galarraga.
He's pitched well this year, kind of like Kobe, a nice ERA, but a record that's a little bit under 500. His last 4 or 5 starts have gone very well.
But that 0-0 is kind of telling. He has been the king of the no decision ever since that almost perfect game way back in June. He's had only 2 wins, tagging 17 starts since all that. Only 4 losses. He's had 11 no decisions.
Yeah, and for the most part, at least recently, he's been pitching well in those no decisions. And the Tigers have been swinging the bats pretty well, so that just goes to show you sometimes you have to have a little luck. And when you pitch and who you pitch against can determine a lot as to how many runs your team's going to score. Must be running up against some pretty good pitchers.
Andrews pops one in the air to right. Bosch has got it. Michael Young comes up next. Bosch out there with Jackson and Rayburn. We'll go all the way around for the Tigers for you. Take you to the infield. Inge, Peralta, Rhymes, Cabrera. And Alex Avila doing the catching tonight instead of Gerald Laird. Galarraga, a one-time with Texas Ranger. Didn't really do anything that memorable here. Was dealt in February of 08 and had a really good 2008 season. Then I think you'd have to say tag a big step backward in 09.
Yeah, he did. He stepped back. He was 6-10 with a 5.6 ERA last year. The sinker ball pitcher. I think his slider's probably his best pitch. Strikeouts are down a little bit this year, but he's pitching well. If he's pitching well, he should get a lot of ground balls. Keeps the ball down. If he strikes you out, it's probably going to be on a slider.
He had a game not too long ago, Tom, 7 2/3 innings. No strikeouts. To kind of highlight your point. One and 2 though to Michael Young. And peeled away foul. Michael had a 3-hit night last night. Again, the Rangers scoring the last 10 runs of the game to win 11-4. Oakland lost 11-3, so that conspired to chop that magic number down to 10. Nolan predicted 92. Right now the Rangers are at 81, and they are trending towards exactly what Nolan predicted back in March. This, by the way, the 14-year anniversary of when Nolan's jersey was retired here at the ballpark, the very first number to be retired by the Rangers. And a nice ceremony back in September of '96 on this date. Young gets a hold of one, nails it into center. There's Jackson. Hit hard, but it's out number 2. So now David Murphy, and doing the kind of spot-on Josh Hamilton impression that Tina Fey used to do of Sarah Palin. It's like you don't even notice the difference. The way that Murphy is hitting for power now, going to the opposite field like Josh. 3 extra base hits last night for Murph. Second time this year that he's had 3 extra base hits in a game. short left field this time. Inge with the call, and whoa, a basket catch. Rangers end up going down in order, and they are trailing at the end of 1 by 2.
Thank you, Josh. Hey, look who we have here. We got PGA golfer Chad Campbell along with his wife Amy. Chad and Amy are part of U-Turn. And Amy, tell us about U-Turn.
All right, well, U-Turn has stemmed from a dream that Chad and I had. I was a school teacher, and when I decided to quit teaching, there was still a love and a passion that I had. And so we've teamed up with the Tarrant County At-Risk and Heart of a Champion to work on character ed for some students and some of their parents to learn how to, make some better decisions in life and to learn the right way. We really feel that a lot of kids want to do the right thing, but sometimes they just might not know how or know the steps to do it. So this is what we're hoping to do through U-Turn.
And Chad, what got you involved?
A lot of the same thing. Just having one of Amy's students in that, living with us for a while and trying to get him turned around, kind of made sense to both of us, to start a program and try to help people out.
Great. Well, good seeing you guys. You see the information on the screen. Those who want to get involved, go ahead and send them an email or go ahead and give them a call. Chad, best of luck. Chad and Amy are in the Dallas area. Big Ranger fans, and good to have them out here tonight. Josh?
Great to have them out. Thank you, Jim, very much. Very nice cause. Johnny Peralta, the batter. Bottom third of the Tigers' order in the top of the second. Colby Lewis hit up for 2 runs in the top of the inning in the first. On appeal, yes. Down there, says Mr. Mike Winters. And so much for Johnny Peralta.
Mike was just waiting to be asked, and he was ready with a call. Let's take a look. It was close, but I think he went far enough to have that count as a strike. The hitter never feels like he went that far. I think when you look at the replay, you say, oh boy, it's a little further than I thought.
Peralta wasn't real enthused,
No.
not as enthused as Winters. Brandon Inge takes outside. Trying to stay healthy. Last year and this year, Brandon Inge. Scott Feldman hit him with a pitch back in Detroit about 6 weeks ago, and that kept him out for about a month. Got him to pop it up, heading foul. Inge, of course, used to be a catcher. One of the guys that he caught very, very briefly in 2006, caught him one time, was Colby Lewis. Colby spent 05 and 06 in Detroit. Was hurt all of 05. Shoulder surgery. He hardly pitched in 04. Only 3 games for the Rangers. Then it was on to Detroit. Eventually on to Japan. Now, of course, back here in the States. Bourbon waiting. And he makes the catch. 2 down. In Japan, as you probably know, Colby, a lot of success. Big winner over there for the Hiroshima Carp. Finding that cut fastball and also, obviously, Tom, a little bit better control.
Yeah, I think he just kind of matured as a pitcher over there, evidently. Of course, we didn't see the games, but based on the way he's pitching this year compared to the way he pitched before he went to Japan, you have to credit the 2 years in Japan to contributing a lot to his maturity as a pitcher. I think he left the States as more of a thrower and came back as more of a pitcher.
Went away as a boy and he came back a man.
Pretty much.
Yep, and your Ford leaderboard. The strikeout pitch has been working for him. Most strikeouts by a Ranger in the last 10, now 11 years. Aaron Seeley in 99 at 106. Lewis got to wait, and he just can't make that pickup on Avila. I think he was just curious to see how that ball was going to bounce, and it kind of played him.
Yeah, he went after the ball, couldn't get it in the air, waited for a hop that never happened on the soft grass. If he's playing on turf, he might have been okay.
Going to be an error on Colby. Definitely an awkward pickup right there. Now he's got to face Jackson, who he's faced 8 times and retired only twice. He's going to retire from here.
Done.
No biggie. Ground out. Inning over. Bottom second coming up. Vlad Guerrero, Nelly Cruz, and Ian Kinsler now trying to get this back to the Rangers' way. Or play Sam Snead possibly in the movie.
Lakewood Country Club hat on.
No relation to Bushwood Country Club, right?
No. Lakewood's high end.
Yeah.
Kurt Deichert's a member over there. Don't know how he ever got in there, but
Vladimir Guerrero at the plate. He's up 2-0. I know there's no gambling at Bushwood. Is there any gambling at Lakewood?
Oh, yeah.
And Kurt never slices. Guerrero will swing and drive it deep to left. He's got as many home runs in his career as Juan Gonzalez now. Vladimir Guerrero.
Wasn't much doubt about that one. That landed about halfway to the back of the bullpen wall. Probably about 435 feet. One of those runs back.
No, you really don't want to.
No. Didn't quite get that fastball where he wanted to, I don't think.
Oh, even Vladdy was impressed by that as he left the bat. 2-1 now, and Nelson Cruz to the plate. Number 434. Tied for 38th now on the all-time list. With a man who used to hit him into that same area, Wando. Gracious. It was over one plate and then over another.
Well, if it's 60 feet 6 inches from the pitching rubber to home plate,
right,
probably about 6 or 7 feet between each wall. That's probably 430, just about 430 where that landed.
It's a 10-game hitting streak for Big Bad Vlad. And the other guys he'll probably catch and pass before the year is done because he's just a couple behind. Be Chipper Jones and Hall of Famer Andre Dawson. Good career you got there, kid. Now Cruz will rifle one into the alley in right center, and it takes off. Off the Snapple sign. He almost hit it out. It's going to be a double.
The wind's not blowing quite as much as it was in batting practice, but if he hit that at about 5:30 this afternoon, it would have gone out of here. The ball was just shooting out to right center field. That ball carried pretty well, but he hit it pretty well, too. Kind of a slicing line shot to right center. And another fastball that I don't think got the location he wanted it to have.
Does a player tag it if you're in the cage and you're hitting one shot after another into the jet stream and watching it fly? Does it get in your head thinking, you know what, I'm gonna get one in the air to right center tonight?
Yeah, and the good thing about that is if you're a right-hand hitter, I think that just makes you a better hitter because you stay on the pitch. It's not like you're trying to pull one over the green monster. If you're trying to drive the ball to right center field, that's a good thing.
There's the little ball thing. Kinsler, and it's thrown away. The Rangers tie the game. Kinsler to second base.
Probably a bunt single and an error on somebody. It's not an easy play for the first baseman because he's got the runner screening him from the throw when it's right down the line like that, and it's a short throw that gets on him quickly, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time to react. A good bunt by in. At the very least, he's going to sacrifice the runner to third, and I don't think Cabrera ever saw that ball.
Yeah,
watch the throw. And watch where Cabrera is. He's directly in line with Kinsler. I don't think he ever saw it.
A 449-foot homer and then a 49-foot bunt. And the Rangers get their 2 runs.
I see the error, but I don't see the hit.
Error all the way, they're saying. And not on Cabrera. It's on the throw.
Oh, that's a tough play. I'd lean toward a hit on that one just because of where the bunt was and how difficult it was to make the play.
Moreland yanks one. Foul. Yeah, you'd like to see that rewarded. There's a base hit, but
it's going to take a really nice play to make that play. And just the angle that the catcher had, I don't think he really ever had a chance to throw a ball that Cabrera could catch unless he threw it on the inside of the bag. Might have had a slight chance that way.
Got him. Take you back to that Kinsler play as Molina gets set to bat.
If he throws the ball to the left of first base, he might have a chance. In fact, he probably did have a chance. But once he threw it into the runner to the right side of first base, Cabrera had very little chance to catch it.
Two-base error on Avila, as it turns out. Now Molina. Updating now, they are going to give it a sac bunt and an error. So no at bat for Ian.
No, you have to give him a sacrifice bunt because no matter what happened at first, he was going to get Cruz to third base. So a sac bunt is better than an at bat, but I think the right call would have been a base hit. One of those calls where you say, I'm glad I'm not the official scorekeeper, and I would not want to be an official scorekeeper.
Too much abuse.
Too much abuse. There's too many calls that can go either way. You get accused of making calls to benefit the home team, and you know the scorekeepers aren't paid by the home team. They're paid by the league. So even though they may live around here, they're not scorekeepers that feel like they have to make a call to benefit the home team.
I wonder how many times an official scorer has heard from a player or a broadcaster, hey, great job scoring tonight.
Yeah, not very often. Because if it's a close call, there's going to be about half the people that agreed with it and half of them didn't.
It's a fair ball. Molina popping out and Bourbon coming up. Well, sometimes, I mean, it really does matter. I always think about the 1953 batting title. Al Rosen lost that batting title by 1 point, lost the Triple Crown by that one batting average point. There was a middle of the summer game where a scorer changed one of his hits to an error. And the story was that Rosen and the scorer went nose to nose about it that night. And the Indians PR director pulled Rosen away, telling him, don't worry about it. That base hit's not going to cost you the batting title. Don't worry about it. Well, actually, it did cost him the batting title and the Triple Crown. And that scorer never forgot that. Dave Stieb and Mike Boddicker in '84 battled to their final starts to settle the ERA title. And in Stieb's game, 6 runs allowed in an inning with no fewer than 3 close calls regarding hit or error. All of them were ruled hits. They were all earned runs, and he lost the ERA title by .04. And yeah, then you start to know who the official scorer is. On 2-0 to Bourbon. Now 2-1. I'll give you one more tag and then I'll shut up about scoring. But Mike Schmidt's final major league at bat. He had a slow roller in San Francisco that the Giants shortstop booted, and the Giants ruled error. The Phillies lobbied relentlessly to have it changed to a hit, saying, hey, you should go out with a hit. It's his last game. The Giants scorer said to the contrary. Mike Schmidt wouldn't want to go out with a hit that was tainted. I'm going to keep it as an E6.
And then Schmidt called up and said, oh, yes, I would. And he had to change it.
I'll take one more. Don't legislate my morals. I'll take a hit.
Well, George Brett's last start was at the old ballpark, and his last at bat was a ground ball up the middle. That was a close scoring decision. Manny Lee was playing shortstop. Could have gone either way. It was ruled a hit. I don't think anyone had a big problem with it.
Pop up from Bourbon.
Bourbon's got this one down. This is the 3rd time he's done this.
Cabrera's going to make this catch.
3 days.
You're right. Rangers got a homer from Vladdy, and that ignited a 2-run inning. It is 2-2 after 2. Baseball brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance, and by AT&T. Rethink possible. Beautiful night for baseball. This is a 2-2 game in the third. The Rangers trying to get their magic number down into single digits. Any combination of Ranger wins and Oakland losses will seal the first division title in 11 years. No update from Kansas City because it is raining in Kansas City. That game in a delay. Will Rhymes will take a strike on the inside corner. And a couple of good young second basemen they've been running out there this year. Scott Sizemore the other. Kind of a platoon situation right now. Looks like the Tigers doing that also, Tom, with right field. Casper Wells had 4 hits yesterday, but because there's a righty starting tonight, it's Brennan Bosch out there instead.
Yeah, and Brennan Bosch is hitting 300 against left-handed pitching this year. But, you know, sometimes managers just use that as a way to get everybody playing time.
And the Tigers are, I mean, in a mode right now where they're trying to see what they've got from a whole bunch of different people.
Yeah, Jim's, I don't think saying, look, I don't think you can hit lefties and I don't think you can hit righties. It's just the way he's choosing to get everybody in the lineup.
Curled towards short and picked by Elvis. That ball had some weird English on it. Andrews handled it, though, and there's one out. Ranger fans now able to color coordinate their ballpark attire right along with the team with the activation of the Rangers jersey alert. After every home game, the Rangers announce what color jersey the club wears for the next home game. Get that inside scoop at TexasRangers.com/jerseys. Tonight you would have known to go white. Breaking ball, Johnny Damon takes that. He's up 2-0. Damon, who said no to a trade that would have had him back in Boston for the summer. Bouncing ball, Kinsler pursues. 2 away. Pretty good 2-0 pitch right there. Scott's Products, keeping your lawn lush and green. Visit Lowe's for a chance to win a VIP World Series experience. Compliments of Scott. Boy, this field here looks great, doesn't it, Tag?
Yeah, I think once we came back from the last road trip, it's probably the best that it's been all year. It's just about perfect condition right now. And it's a tough field because early in the season, after the winter, there's rye grass on it. And then eventually the Bermuda grass has to come in, and that transition is a very tricky thing. It almost takes perfect weather conditions for it to go, smoothly. There's always a little too much rain, not enough sun, and the guys do a great job to keep it in the kind of shape that they do, having to go through that transition. Right now it's perfect.
You sure do know a lot about grass.
Well, I've just heard that story told a lot. I've gone through it in this ballpark, in the old ballpark, and here it's no matter who has been taking care of the field, that's always been an issue. In fact, they had to resod. They resodded the infield earlier in the season. That's not easy to do in the middle of the season. Think about what your yard looks like when you resod your yard. Imagine playing a ball game on it.
Anybody drive over your lawn lately?
No.
I'll be over tomorrow. The 0-2 to Cabrera. Whacked into center field. Back goes Bourbon. It's over his head. And whistling to the base of the wall. Cabrera stumbles around first. Close. Wow. Teetered on that bag, and had he toppled over, Cabrera shoved Kinsler now. No need for that. Kinsler just trying to tag him. They're going to talk about that a little bit. Don't push me.
What he's doing is trying to tag you. Took a minute and a half to get to second base.
And actually, remember the World Series with Kent Herbeck? He lifted a guy right off the bag.
Last thing that Ian's going to do is cause a problem on a tag play like that. Guerrero just a little embarrassed that he was almost out at second base in the middle of center field. Went to tag him in case his foot came off.
Yeah, Ian's holding the glove on the leg, and
if he slid into second base like he should have, he never would have had a problem. You go in standing up like that, that's what can happen. Go hard, slide in like a normal player would. You wouldn't have to worry about it.
One strike now to Rayburn. Yeah, Cabrera topples off the bag, and he almost did. Look at that.
Went off. He tried to tag him. You look at the ball. Nelly Cruz hit off the right field wall. Nelly's into second base about 5 seconds earlier than that with no play, and he slid into second base. You go in like that, standing up, you deserve that to happen. It could have been out.
You look like that guy in the movie Stripes. If any of you guys touch me, I'll kill you.
Well, he's big enough, he probably could.
Ball and a strike now to Rayburn. And he'll foul it into a still growing crowd. You got a real nice crowd here tonight. I'll give you one more look at this.
And he is just keeping his glove on him. He wasn't pushing him. He was just holding the glove on the leg in case his leg came off the base.
Kinsler had to look like, dude, what's your problem?
Cabrera's way out of line right there. I think he was embarrassed that he was almost out on that ball. Should have been.
That one close, but not given to Colby. 2-2. Rayburn doubled high up on the wall in the first for a run batted in.
A long John into second base. We'll give him some oxygen.
On the ground to short. The Rangers are out of the inning. And the top of the order will be coming up in the bottom of the third. Don't push Cabrera, by the way. Both ways, and folks, reminding you, Mondays are military Mondays here at the ballpark. Monday, September 27th. Last time you could take advantage of this year. Rangers and Mariners in action. Bring your active or retired military ID. Get one free ticket with every regularly priced ticket that you buy. Some restrictions do apply. Rangers about to hit the road when this one is done. They don't leave right after the game. They get to sleep in tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening it is off for Seattle, getting set for 3 against the Mariners, 3 against the Angels, and 4 against the A's. Andrus, Young, and Murphy here in the 3rd. Rangers having won 6 straight after the 5-game losing streak. A perfect homestand so far. That included the sweep of New York.
Got a number of people to mention this half inning, Josh.
All right.
I want to wish a happy upcoming birthday to Kelly Vinson, Ranger employee. I think she's back in school now in Waco.
I think that's right.
Emily Jones has a good friend, Brooklyn Peace, having her 15th birthday today. Happy birthday.
Past the mound, Elvis Andrus. Close. Safe.
Nice play by Peralta, too. Almost got Elvis. Elvis gets down the line pretty well. That was a close play. Elvis closed the last 10 feet quickly enough to just beat the throw from Peralta, who makes a beautiful play. He's not one of those little shortstops either. He's a big guy. Been playing third base mostly for the Tigers, but came up as a shortstop with the Indians. Makes a nice play. Didn't quite get him, though.
There's a little infield hit derby going on between Andrus and Bourbon. They're now tied at 32 apiece. We'll see if the Rangers run now. Michael Young at the plate.
We also got a sample of the chocolate delights that you can find at the Chocolate for the Soul Festival in Crum, Texas. That's September 25th. It's an annual chocolate festival, benefits the First United Methodist Church in Crum. All the proceeds go to a wide variety of charities. And if the samples we got tonight are any indication of what you'll find there, I would suggest that's a great way to spend your time on September 25th.
No, we've got the day off broadcast-wise on the 25th. I wonder if there's direct service round trip San Francisco to Crum.
Well, it'd have to be pretty good chocolate. I imagine they have plenty of people there to take care of it. Also got a nice assortment of rum balls tonight from Brian and Beverly Woolsey.
An assortment of what?
Rum balls.
Rum balls.
We had they're celebrating their 15th wedding anniversary tonight at the ballpark. Brought us those treats. Thank you very much.
Young, hard hit. Up the middle it goes. Andrus, little stutter step. Going to try out Austin Jackson. Michael Young down to second. Beautiful.
That's the base running right there. And that's what the Rangers do. That's not what they used to do, but that's what they do now. They take advantage of their speed, but more than speed, good base runners don't have to be fast. It just happens that Elvis is pretty fast, but he's aggressive too, and he cuts the corner going around second just right. Austin Jackson has a good arm, makes a pretty good throw. Elvis beats it, and Michael never wasted a step going around first. As soon as he sees the throw go through, he goes to second, eliminates any chance for a double play, and now it's second and third and nobody out. So 2 well-hit base hits up the middle and some nice base running.
David Murphy trying to break this 2-2 tie. Again, Murphy inheriting this number 3 spot in the lineup with Josh Hamilton out. Rangers hitting .300 for the month. Colorado with a win today, by the way. Getting back to within 2.5 in the NL West.
Josh, the last 2 people I want to say hi to and thank, Sharon Parrish and Robin Rowe, who sent up that delicious pecan jalapeno spread.
Yeah.
That's a new item. We haven't seen that yet. But Sharon and Robin, according to the people who have been chowing down on it the last 20 minutes, it's excellent. Thank you.
Foul tip. Murphy got enough of that. Hobble Avila for just a moment. And also, Tom, I don't know the name of this Ranger fan, and she's right beneath our window.
I should, because she sends us something up at the homestand.
Well, you and I were talking about jujubes the other night, and she went out and got us some jujubes. So,
well, I tried one, and I think the ones I used to have as a kid at the movie theater must have been like years old, because they were as hard as a rock. These are actually somewhat chewy.
When you were going to see How Green Was My Valley?
No, I think it was Ben-Hur.
Oh, okay. Did they have talkies?
Oh, yeah. Charlton Heston was talking in those days. Wasn't talking about gun control either.
No. Well, whoever you are, ma'am, thank you for the jujubes, and we're ready for the coming attractions now. Murphy trying to run his hitting streak to 13. That'll be a weird way to have it happen. Again, a throw getting away.
Seen that one before.
The Rangers take the lead. And there's nothing really to argue on that one. Jim Leland just kind of looking forlorn over there. Murphy was where he was supposed to be. With the throw, Murphy, Cabrera, basically all there at the same time.
It's another tough play, because where the first baseman fields it, I mean, the pitcher fields it and throws to the first baseman, the throw is into the runner. And Cabrera has no choice. He either sticks his arm out and risks breaking his arm, or he tries to make a stab at it like he does and then get out of the way. The only way you can make that play is you have to throw it on the left side of first base so that the first baseman can stretch away from the runner. But on both those plays, the catcher and the pitcher threw it right into the runner. There's nothing they could do about it.
They're going to give that one an error.
That'll be an error and an RBI.
Yep, RBI number 55 for Murphy. And now Vlad Guerrero, who homered last inning. On the ground, third base. They got the one out. Rhymes, quick turn, and Cabrera swiping at that bag. Yeah, I think he barely got it.
I don't think he did. I think the first base umpire thought he did. He kicked at the bag, but I don't think he got there. And I don't think the first base umpire could see it. He saw the attempt, but I don't think he had an angle to see it.
Ron Washington, Gary Pettis, both saying what you said, Tom, that he didn't quite get the bag. It goes at the double play, and a run comes in. Let's see. Got the ball.
Actually,
corner of the bag.
He might have had it right there.
Yeah, not on the retry,
right,
on that
exactly. Okay, if he called it originally, he might have had a good call. If he called it because he kicked it afterwards, no. But
there's no way.
Mike Winters appeared to make a good call. Sorry, Mike.
Let's see. There's the drag, right? Yeah, right there.
He dragged his foot. Good call.
No RBI for Vlad. But the Rangers now lead 4-2.
I think the thing that fooled us and Ron Washington was after Cabrera tagged the base as he was catching it, he came back and tried to kick it, which made it look like he'd missed it the first time. Really didn't.
Rangers have rallied again. They were down 4-1 yesterday, came back to win. Down 2-0 tonight, they're up 4-2.
Second unearned run.
Tigers now 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors.
Actually, that might be an earned run. It's one of those I'm going to have to wait to hear.
Well, have a jujube while you wait.
Okay. Those are tough to eat, boy. Those things get caught in your teeth. It's about 2 innings before you get rid of them.
It is a fat-free candy, Tom.
Well, that's very deceptive, because fat-free does not mean sugar-free.
So like if I had 1 million of these, I wouldn't gain much weight.
Well, I don't know about that. You wouldn't have much fat, but you might not have any teeth left.
Rick Knapp will go out to talk to Galarraga after the walk to Nelly Cruz.
The question on the earned run. Okay, it's second and third, nobody out. Ground ball to the pitcher. If he makes the play at first base, one runs in and there's a man on third. The next play is a ground ball to third. Now, I don't know whether you rule that he threw to first and the run would have scored, or you make the judgment call that he could have prevented the run from scoring as to whether that's an earned run. So we'll have to wait and find out. Another reason why I wouldn't want to be the scorekeeper, trying to determine that kind of stuff.
Well, Kinsler reached on a scorer's decision in the second inning. One is a sack and an E2. Still raining in Kansas City, by the way. No update for you on what the A's are doing. Actually, my guess on what the A's are doing, they're sitting in the clubhouse watching this game. And they know they are down 9 and running out of time, but they also know that they've got 4 games left head-to-head at their place with the Rangers. That's been a tough place for the Rangers to win. Crowd's got to be in the 37,000-ish range tonight, Tom. It's been a late arriving crowd tonight.
Yeah, very nice crowd. Been a good homestand for crowds.
Especially that Yankee series. Galarraga with the 0-2, and Kinsler pops it towards right. It hangs in the air long enough. And that'll be the inning. But the Rangers with 2 in the second, 2 in the third, now leading 4-2.
Rangers now leading the Detroit Tigers 4-2. And Josh and Tom, look who I have here. It's Mark Harlan of Chevrolet. That's right, big sponsor of the Texas Rangers, also youth baseball. Mark, tell us about Chevrolet and youth baseball.
You know, we have a wonderful partnership with youth baseball. In fact, Chevrolet sponsors about 40,000 Little League teams around the country. More importantly, right here in DFW, about 30 dealers sponsor, work with the Rangers ballpark, get youth league clinics, give back to the community. It's a great sponsorship.
You also see a lot of the great Chevrolet trucks around the ballpark. What's new and exciting with Chevrolet?
Yeah, of course we do trucks well. We just launched a new heavy-duty Silverado, which is just kicking butt. But we got a small car, and I don't often brag about a small car, but we got a really fun small car, the Cruise, coming out here this fall. Of course, we're going to the Volt, our electric vehicle. It's an extended range electric vehicle. That's going to be coming here to Dallas in the winter. So a lot of exciting things, from heavy-duty trucks to electric vehicles and small cars.
If people want to get a hold of Chevrolet, what do they need to do?
ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
There we go, and good to see Finn, his 4-year-old son, out enjoying his very first game. All right, Finn, having a good time there. Josh.
Way to go, Finn. Thanks, guys, and thanks to Chevy for all that they do with the Rangers. Colby Lewis now with a 4-2 lead. And facing Brennan Bosch, then Peralta, then Inge. Boy, Colby Lewis starting to pick it up a little bit now. One out, and Peralta next.
The game that he had his last start in Toronto, that pitch got a lot of his strikeouts. He struck out 8 in 6 1/3 in that game. And he would spot his fastball, he'd get ahead in the count, and he was putting him away with that hard breaking ball.
Inside corner to Peralta, the former Cleveland Indian. The Rangers have gained a game and a half in the standings the last 3 days. Maybe a chance to pick up some more tonight as Peralta bounces out. The Rangers have been between 7 and 10 games up in the standings for 51 days in a row. They just can't seem to get off of that range. That's a good range to be in.
It's a pretty good spot to stay in right there. That's a sweet spot.
Even when it was a little bit of anxious moment kind of stuff up there in Toronto, and that lead had shrunk to 7. Well, that's as low as it got. I mean, that's the most panic that seemed to set in. You look at San Diego. They had a 10-game losing streak. Now they got to fight off 2 teams, San Francisco and Colorado, playing both of those teams head-to-head a lot. That would be some panic seeping in. Rockies beat the Padres today. They're back to within 2.5. And the Giants are 1 game back. Looks like Cincinnati in the NL Central now. 6 up in the loss column on St. Louis, and they do not play head-to-head anymore. That really hurts St. Louis. Philly is up 2 on Atlanta in the East. A real good race is in the other East, the AL East. The Yankees and Tampa Bay, who are playing against each other tonight. They are even in the loss column. Also, Minnesota and Chicago playing a head-to-head tonight. Those are the top 2 teams in the AL Central. The White Sox are far behind. Ground ball, third base. Young on the run, getting Brandon Inge. A 1-2-3 top of the 4th. It's still 4-2. A question for tonight, or so I'm told. The only 4 pitchers in franchise history to have 200 strikeouts in a season. Colby Lewis has a shot to become number 5 this year. Mitch Moreland, first pitch swinging, pops it up through the haze of the fireworks smoke, and that ball just keeps drifting out of play. Armando Galarraga getting the start tonight in place of Rick Porcello, who's got a strained finger, and that's why he's not pitching tonight. Galarraga, who had the perfect game with 1 out to go back in June against Cleveland, and appeared to get an out on a bang-bang play at first base to make it a perfect game. But as I'm sure you know by now, the call went against Galarraga. He's only won twice since then in 17, now 18 starts. In fact, they sent him down to AAA for a little while, Tag, just kind of polish things up.
Yep.
Did the same this year with Rick Porcello. Tigers will finish 3rd in the AL Central. They are 7.5 out of 2nd. They are 13 up in terms of who's behind them. Moreland comes through. Base hit number 5 for the Rangers. Well, he just continues to get a hit, seems like every game. And Tom, speaking of the AL Central, boy, the Twins with a big win last night. They moved to those full 7 games up now. You know, Francisco Liriano for the Twins has allowed 4 home runs the entire season. Pitches every 5th day.
You go back a few years ago, and there was not much doubt what kind of pitcher he was going to become, and then he got hurt. But he's getting back to where everybody thought he would be now.
Twins now have a 5-game lead on the Rangers in terms of who's got the better record. Moreland takes that lead from first. Molina fouls it back. And let's go to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, it's easy to forget that Mitch Moreland is just a rookie and pretty new to this whole big league thing. He says he is just trying to get in where he can fit in.
Well, I'm just trying to go out and get the job done. If it's my opportunity, you know, and contribute any way I can. And I've had a few opportunities, and so far it's been good.
His batting average has taken a hit of late. However, in his last 12, 2 home runs and 9 RBIs to go along with 9 walks, gentlemen.
Yeah, maybe those 9 walks, thank you, Emily, are what we're thinking about. It just seems like every game, Mitch Moreland somehow is on base a couple times. Tom, just finishing up on those thoughts with Minnesota and Chicago in the Central. White Sox made that big splash. They went out and got Manny Ramirez. Been there 2 weeks now. He's got a handful of singles. Doesn't even have a double yet. He's struck out 13 times in about 35 at bats. He's done nothing.
Well, everybody's career comes to an end at some point in time. Looks like that's where his is headed.
Foul tipped into the glove of Avila.
White Sox also made, they made that trade to bring in Edwin Jackson, and they traded Hudson. That kid's 6-1 for Arizona. Pitched another great game last night. Beat Cincinnati 3-1. He might end up in the long run wishing they didn't make that trade.
Daniel Hudson's got a 1.67 ERA now in 9 starts with Arizona. And you're right, they've got Ian Kennedy and Joe Saunders. A kid named Barry Enright.
They also made that trade for Jake Peavy and traded a number of players to the Padres. Richard is one. The left-hand pitcher's having a pretty good year. In fact, a real good year for the Padres. So they're going to end up with veteran pitchers. Peavy, who's been hurt. Edwin Jackson, who's pitched a no-hitter but has been inconsistent for him. and the young players that they gave up to get those veterans, trying to take a chance to win, all doing pretty well where they are now. So you roll the dice sometimes.
Yep. Pretty astonishing with Manny Ramirez. Remember the last time he got traded? I mean, he landed in L.A. and he was just on fire. Seemed like a double and a home run every game. He made an instant impact. Now goes to Chicago and it's just nothing. Bourbon in the right field, base hit. 2 on and just 1 out.
And one of the real beneficiaries of playing time now that Josh has been hurt has been Bourbon, and he is really making the best out of it. He's playing good baseball right now. He's playing nice defense. He's getting his hits. He's bunting. He's looking right now just like the player you expected him to become. It doesn't happen overnight for young players that come right out of the draft and get to the big leagues quickly without a lot of minor league experience or on-the-job training going on. He went from the leadoff hitter to the bottom of the lineup and starting to do a lot of things to help the team win right now.
Top of the order, Andrews. He's got an infield hit tonight. Rangers doing a pretty nice job of laying off that slider tonight.
Yeah, and that's one of the keys to having a chance to beat Galarraga is to lay off that pitch. Over his career, he's been much tougher on right-hand hitters. 45 or 50 points better against righties than lefties. And that slider sure is the main reason why.
Bouncing ball, base hit Elvis. Moreland is held at third, and they are loaded up now for Michael Young. Well placed.
That sure was. Off the bat, I thought it was going to be hit to Inge, but it never was.
Underway now in Kansas City, and the A's strike first. They're up 2, and the Rangers are up 2. Rick Knapp makes a very slow walk out to talk to Galarraga. There is action in the Tiger bullpen. Eddie Bonine, who we saw last night for a little while.
The Tigers are a team that chose not to call up a lot of guys. They've got 8 bullpen pitchers as opposed to 7 during the course of the season. And they've got 7 extra men as opposed to 4. So based on those numbers, it looks like they might have had 4 roster call-ups when they expanded their rosters. The Rangers have had much more than that. The Rangers have needed the pitchers, not right now. They're in good shape right now, but coming out of Toronto and into that Yankee series, they needed all 10 of those guys in the bullpen.
They really did. If not 11 or 12.
Yeah, might have used another one. But it was great experience for the young pitchers. Great experience for guys like Stroke and Ogando and Kirkman and Rapata, kids that have not had a whole lot of minor league experience to pitch in meaningful games, late in the games, key situations against the Yankees and a full house crowd. Great experience for them.
Young's quickly behind 0-2. Boy, not only to weather that storm with the 9.5 hours of baseball in 2 nights for the Rangers, but to come out of that 2-0 and then the whole weekend 3-0. Murphy waits on deck. Another foul by Michael. Michael got some good news today. Told by representatives of the Arizona Fall League that he's going to their Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Michael played there 10 years ago for the Grand Canyon Rafters.
That's a nice honor.
Should see that ballpark in the Grand Canyon, Tom.
Well, They say not many people have ever hit one out of the Grand Canyon, but occasionally you'll hear an announcer say that ball would have been a home run in the Grand Canyon.
You got to really hit it to get it out there on that club. Checking his swing. He did check his swing.
I think he checked it. Close, though.
Galarraga has slowed down the pace quite a bit. Being in trouble like he is. The 1-2. In the air. Bosch right over near the line. Runs up. Got it. Moreland tagging. Here's the throw. Cut off. A 5-2 lead for Texas. And runners at the corners now. Love how the kids, now everybody knows to do the antlers now. Somebody shows even a little bit of speed. You're running like a deer. Murphy destroys one. There it goes to right. 3-run home run upper tank.
That's why pitchers don't consistently throw David Murphy on the inner half of the plate. Because when you do, that can happen. No doubt about that one. That's 5 rows back in the upper deck. Fastball belt high, inner part of the plate. See you later. No chance.
And no replay needed for that one. The Josh Hamilton impersonation continues. The Rangers have stormed back for a second straight night. It was 10 unanswered runs yesterday. It is 8 so far tonight. You gotta love what David Murphy is doing. Right down the corridor it went up there in the upper deck. We'll take a break and come back in just a moment. The Rangers lead the Tigers by the score of 8-2. Four runs batted in tonight. Now the Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen, Eddie Bonine, for a second straight game. Well, the Rangers have spotted the Tigers' early leads 2 nights in a row, and they've just come roaring back. Murphy, who hit one about 40 feet for an RBI last inning. He hit one 426 feet here in the fourth. And gets 3 runs batted in. Vladimir Guerrero hit one 449 feet tonight. Here's like cold hard blast. Tied for 38th on the all-time list now with that home run. Vladdy in the last week, Tom, has a 450-footer and now 449.
Is that what that one was? 449?
Yep, and 450 up in Toronto.
Wow.
A pop-up with tremendous torque generated from Vladdy, but that's just over to the second baseman. The Rangers get 4 in the fourth. Thank you, David Murphy. 8-2 Texas. Barking at Jerry Lane.
He wants to get kicked out.
He's trying to, he's got to be doing that.
He's not going to leave till he gets kicked out. Been arguing the whole time since the inning ended.
I have no idea what could have his fuse lit like that. Unless he's just trying to light a fuse under his team.
I think Jerry Lane would have let him argue for 20 minutes and not kicked him out.
I guess it's with Mike Winters is who the beef is with. He keeps pointing down towards Mike Winters.
He's mad at all of them. I think it probably goes back to, who knows, the home run call last night. Maybe he already got kicked out.
I didn't see him get kicked out,
but I guess see it either.
I guess he is done.
Must have happened early.
Apparently he got kicked out before he even came out. Okay. Yeah, he must have been chirping from the dugout, and what we saw was the residue of that ejection. A base hit for Avila to open things up in the top of the fifth inning. Now let's see what we pick up here. This is right as the inning ended. And there's Jerry Lane looking towards the dugout. That's what we missed.
I thought he was going to throw the ball at him.
That was like, I'm tired of you. That chuckle you just heard is from Steve Busby. He's joining us in the booth.
I love it.
Got a runner at first, and now Austin Jackson at the plate. And Buzz, obviously an interesting little ball game here. The Rangers once again spotting the Tigers a lead, and then once again they just come right back.
It's been amazing, Josh. I think this run they're on, and I'll go back to Toronto when I kind of think this whole thing turned itself around and started. This ball club has just really found itself again, and they've done it time and time again over the season. But this is as good a run as I've seen them put on as far as their resiliency in ball games and over the course of the last week or so.
Jackson gets one up in the jet stream, and that's going to send Bourbon and Cruz back. That ball really jumping. Out number 1 in the inning. Well, the Rangers in general, you're right, Buzz. They just look like a poised, sure of themselves team again.
You know what it looks like to me, Josh, and Tom, you'd probably address this. It looks to me like this club is starting to smell the blood in the water. And now they know what to do about it. And that's no matter what happens early in the ball game, they're going to finish it out. You know, maybe I'm carrying that a little too far, but this looks like a club that's charging down to the finish line.
Yeah, and I think what we were saying, for the 2 or 3 week stretch where they were struggling, when Ian wasn't in the lineup, when Nelly wasn't in the lineup, was you hope that the guys start to get healthy by the middle of September, that they get into midseason form as the season winds down, and you go into postseason play peaking at the right time. And even without Josh, they seem to be doing that. And I think the one thing that's really helped, and you look at the impact that Nelly Cruz and Ian have both had on the team since they've come back, and now they are in midseason form. And I think just having those 2 guys back in the lineup offensively and defensively has just kind of made everything work a little bit better.
Ground ball foul from Rhymes. I do like the fact that the Rangers are learning and convincing themselves that even without their MVP candidate, they are capable of sweeping the Yankees, maybe even the Tigers.
The thing you love, Buzz, is it's not just one player they're relying on. It's a team effort right now.
I agree with you. And I think that team part of it is something this club has that we haven't seen very often around here lately.
What is Colby Lewis doing? Rangers, like every team in spring training, work on that until it just bores you to death. That pitcher's fielding practice. The Tigers, from their World Series experience a few years back, can tell you can work on it all March long, and sometimes it leaves you.
Buzz, I think I know your answer, but what did he do?
Just bad fundamentals. Watch what his feet don't do. He gets turned around and he doesn't step straight towards second base. He comes down the mound and steps toward the second baseman.
He actually threw that right where he stepped.
Yeah, he did. Threw it dead straight right there. What you have to be careful of when you're on the mound is you really got to shift yourself either to a place where it's flat, or you've got to shorten your stride so that you don't get your body leaning in that direction. And Colby just didn't get it done. He was coming down that back slope, and oops, there it goes.
When you practice the pitchers practice in spring training, do you practice that, catching it on the mound and having to deal with the slope of the mound? Is that part of the whole deal?
And unless the guy's really diabolical and runs you all over the place, they'll hit you balls on the first base side of the mound, the third base side of the mound, straight at you. It's pretty tough to get a guy to go on the backside, the downslope of the mound. But they'll try and get you to get a feel for what it takes to get your body under control so you can make an accurate throw to second base.
Right.
It's the second straight night, guys. We've seen 4 errors total before the game is officially halfway done. 2 by the Tigers, 2 by the Rangers again.
3 by the pitchers.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not good.
Yeah, all the errors have been from the battery tonight, pitchers and catchers.
Right.
The Rangers had been showing that up for 2 years in a row. They led the major leagues in most errors from the pitcher and catcher position. I think that has gotten better this year, Buzz, although we haven't seen that tonight.
No, I think the pitchers, especially Josh, have really worked hard on it, notwithstanding what Colby has experienced. And Cliff Lee. I mean, those things, they happen, and they seem to happen in streaks. But I think overall, this Ranger pitching staff is very athletic and very, very good fundamentally most of the time.
Miguel Cabrera on deck. Finally, Colby and Benji Molina together with what they want to do. Ground ball foul. Johnny Damon, been a heck of a player for a while, Buzz, and turned down the chance to go to Boston this summer for, well, what everybody assumed would be a pennant race, but obviously there was no pennant race in Boston.
Johnny Damon's a guy who to me, has reinvented himself a couple of times over his career. It's become a very good career. I remember when he broke in with Kansas City back in '96. Talking about, again, the next George Brett. And I think there have been 15 next George Brett since George retired. But
they got a couple of new ones over there.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
haven't quite gotten there yet.
But they looked at Damon as kind of a power guy in building, and that didn't happen. And speed certainly was always there.
Boy, that error could really be costly now. You've got the bases loaded for Cabrera, and they're one swing away from being right back in this game.
Well, you just look at how much a pitcher fielding his position can help his cause. If he throws an accurate throw to second, he's out of the inning. Turns out he faces 3 hitters, throws a minimum amount of pitches. Now it's an entirely different ball game.
Let's get you back to that trivia question regarding Colby Lewis. Trying to become the 5th Ranger pitcher to have a 200 strikeout season. You got Nolan 3 times, and he was the most recent to do it. Fergie Jenkins, Charlie Huff, and Bobby Witt. And boy, from where Colby was as a Ranger several years ago, Buzz, I'd have to assume that you're thinking, okay, if you're going to add a 5th name to that list, you probably wouldn't have guessed Colby Lewis. Not from what we saw in 05.
Right. Now, he's certainly got a shot at it. He has become a very, very good pitcher. And his ability to apply the stuff that he has really increased.
Cabrera swinging right away. And the wind is going to take that back near the track, but that's it. That's going to cash in 1 run. And thankfully just 1. It is now 8-3. Now walk, a double, and a sac fly for Cabrera tonight. All right, so far the error has cost 1 run. And if you leave it right there, I guess that's okay. You got to make sure you get Rayburn.
He did a good job with Cabrera, keeping it out of an area where he could really drive the ball. And as you said, Josh, and create some big problems for the Rangers. And that's not always easy to do with Cabrera.
No. That's RBI number 117 for him. No action in the Ranger bullpen. They want Colby Lewis with a big lead to keep on pitching. Cabrera now leading the American League in runs batted in by 5. Jose Bautista had a couple right behind him.
Buzz, one thing it looks like it's going to happen with the off day on Monday and then again on Thursday, all the pitchers get pushed back a little bit. They all get at least 1 or 2 days extra. Is that an important thing late in the season for your staff?
I think so.
About that?
Yeah, I think so. You know, and I think it's maybe as important that the Rangers have the opportunity to set their rotation the way they want it for the last couple of weeks, and then hopefully on into the playoffs. But this is a good opportunity to do that, and a good chance for guys to kind of catch their breaths and still make their starts, still work late into the ball game if they can, but not be taxed physically by it.
In the air to right field, back goes Nelly Cruz. At the wall, he dropped it. 2 runs are coming in. He had a beat on it, but he couldn't hold it. And hey, the Tigers are back to within 8-5. That'll be an interesting scoring decision, too. I mean, it's not an easy play, but he was right there.
That's a play that we've seen Nelly make 10 times in the last 2 or 3 months. He had that beautiful play to end the game in Kansas City against Billy Butler. It was probably even a tougher play than that. That actually was a relatively easy play for Nelly. He got back, never really was to the wall. Might have been fooled by where he was a little bit. He jumps up, ball just didn't go in his glove.
Give him a double on that. Second double of the night for Rayburn, and now here's Bosch. Well, now you go back to the error, that throwing error, which, again, I mean, it's not to bury Colby. It just looked like a careless throwing error. And from there, you get a walk, a sac fly, and what's ruled a double. All of a sudden, it's 3 runs in. Colby is ahead of Bosch 0-2, and Pedro Strop begins to loosen in that Ranger pen. Kinsler back. He will make the catch to finally end the inning. See, Busby, thank you, brother.
All right, guys. Talk to you after the ball game.
See you on Rangers Live.
Thanks, Buzz.
The Rangers lead has been knocked down a bit. It's now 8-5. Rangers' top moment from this season that you'd like to see replayed here on Fox Sports Southwest. Had that great game in mid-August against the Red Sox. Josh Hamilton going crazy. Nelly Cruz, base hit right away. Wide turn, is thinking about second base. There he goes. He is safe.
Rangers are running the bases, boy. They're both there, double up.
Well, Nelly just had that ball hit him in the glove and fall out. They cost the team a couple of runs. He comes right back for his pitch of this inning with a hustling double.
Yeah, he hit a ball that was inside. We got the antlers. And a nice slide going into second base. Showed his speed. And he got the claw, too.
Oh, close,
that's
huh?
A great call by the second base umpire. He was safe, but it was close. And Hunter Wendelstedt had his face right in the middle of that play. Made a great call. See how close it was when you see the replay like that.
Galarraga started and could not get out of the fourth inning tonight for Detroit. They'll already get more action behind Bonine now in the game in which the Tigers have lost their manager too. Kinsler dunking it down into left center. Here comes Nelson Cruz. 9-5. That did not take long to get one of those runs back. It took 3 pitches.
Ian took a huge turn going around first. He was ready to go for a double. But on the play, Cabrera comes in to be the cutoff man, and so there's no one at first base. So you can take a huge turn like that, knowing that there's no one behind you to catch a throw if they decide to throw behind you. And Nelly's had a couple of doubles and a walk, scored a couple of runs after each one of those doubles.
Now Moreland pegging one deep, left center, Jackson back. Leaping, he peeled it off the wall.
Wow.
Kinsler hustling back to first. What a play by Austin Jackson.
That is some kind of play right there. That wasn't quite like the one Gary Matthews made, but that's a great play. When you're sprinting and jumping into the wall, and you're getting to the wall just as the ball gets to your glove, that's a big time play. Shows what kind of athlete he is.
Out of Denton Ryan High School, look how high on the wall he is, with his face right against that cushion.
Yep. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's above a 10 right there. You'll see a lot of guys go back to the wall, wait for the ball, and then jump as high as they can, reach over the fence and catch it. And that for a big league player is really a simple play. He's just jumping up and catching the ball. But when you're sprinting like that from about 40 yards away and you're jumping into the wall on the dead run and you catch the ball right as you hit the wall, that's a hard play. And you got to be an athlete to make that play.
Benji Molina pops one up. Will Rhymes has got it. A little bit of everything tonight, huh? We've seen some great defense, some poor defense. Seen bunts for hits and home runs. About everything in between. That is Brad Thomas down there in the bullpen. Well, even though Moreland was out, Tom, obviously one of the continuing nice stories of this summer into the fall is the emergence of Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, I love the way Mitch goes about his business at the plate. We talked about he's walked 18 times with around 100 at bats. He uses the whole field. And yeah, sure, his average is in the 250s, but boy, he sure looks a lot better than a 250 hitter. And he sure looks a lot more than a rookie the way he goes up and handles himself at the plate.
Does anybody remember who the part-time first baseman was supposed to be this year? It was Ryan Garco.
Yeah, that's right.
Signed out of spring training right at the end when Seattle got rid of him, and the thought was that, you know, if you needed a guy to spell Chris Davis at first base, that was going to be Davis and Garco, and now it's neither.
Yeah, the player that we've had in the past.
More on that in
You're
just
going to have to hear that next inning.
That's a good teaser right there,
Yes,
Tag. Borbone lines out. Rangers get one run back. A tremendous catch by Jackson keeps it 9-5. Texas baseball, and by Verizon Wireless, own the airwaves, rule the air. High-scoring ball game in front of a big crowd tonight. After 5, it is 9-5. The Rangers up by 4. Colby Lewis has pitched deep enough into the game to qualify for a win. Good thing that run support that he had been lacking the last couple months has showed up tonight. Colby was the king of the 3-2 loss or 2-1 loss for a while.
Oh, he was. He was pitching well with nothing to show for it.
On the ground is short. Off the bat of Johnny Peralta. Andrews, high throw, tag. Ball comes out. And Moreland's got to run and get that ball. Down to second is Peralta. That's unfortunate. It looked like Elvis was going to make that strong throw to get him. And instead, that's an E6.
Yep. He got to the ball. He had time. He threw a strong throw. It just was high. And last two games have been, from both sides, really, somewhat sloppily played defensively.
Absolutely. 5 errors total in this game, and really there could be 7 or 8 if you had an official score that was kind of leaning that way. They strike the Brandon Inge.
All 3 runs last inning were unearned. And really, that was Kobe's fault. Kobe had the ball back to him that could have turned a double play and been out of the inning really quick. Turned out to be a long inning and 3 runs scored, but they all were unearned runs. Haven't seen Elvis do that very much. Made a nice play and a strong throw, just a little too high.
Inge lifting one into shallow center. Bourbon has to slide, and he got it.
Well, that's where speed comes in handy. Without the speed, you can't run that far to catch a pop-up. No one else was going to get to it except Bourbon. Julio talked about how much he's improved as a bunter, and he's improved an equal amount defensively in center field. And you thank the hard work he's put in with Gary Pettis for that improvement.
First time the Rangers have had 3 errors in a game in about 5 weeks. Matt Harrison now in the Ranger bullpen. No, maybe get 6 innings out of Colby tonight. Right now at 90 pitches.
Yeah, unless it's unusual circumstances, you probably won't see the Ranger starters going 118, 119 pitches like they might have been earlier in the season. Rangers have a big lead. And I think right now Ron Washington wants to make sure they get their work in, but probably wouldn't push them that far.
Love to see Colby finally retire this number 9 hitter, Alex Avila, who came into the game batting .212.
Well, he had a shot at him the first time up. Just didn't make the play on that little tapper back to the mound.
Ground ball. Now he got him.
There, you got your wish.
I had one wish, and that was it.
Not one. You got the one you just made.
Okay. I was going to
give
say
you another one if you want.
I mean, I love getting that out, but honestly, if I had only
you
one
wouldn't have wasted on that.
No, I would not have been it. Either invisibility or time travel, but not a ground out from Alex Avila. Though I am happy for Colby. Now I got the runner at third, 2 out. Austin Jackson, top of the order. Jackson came in 5 for 7 lifetime against Colby, but 0 for 2 tonight. Be nice to just throw a little shutdown inning up there too, Tom. The Tigers with that 3-run 5th, giving them the germ of the idea that they're potentially still in this game.
Yeah, for sure. You'd like to see Colby get Jackson right here. It's probably his last hitter with Matt Harrison warming up.
Yeah, go out with some flair here. Jackson is the leading strikeout man in the AL.
You get Jackson right here. Just leave the game right where it is. Will end up being a quality start. Even though there's 5 runs, only 2 of them are earned runs.
Check swing and foul. It's not been a big strikeout night for Colby. Leads the team in that department for the year, but a lot of contact tonight. Got him. Colby Lewis with a 9-5 lead. Bottom of the sixth is coming up. Time for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. The jackpot worth $1,100 and dinner for two at Sonic. Good luck to Harry Ledbetter of Denton. Still chuckling over the returns from the dot race tonight, the live dot race. A very aggressive green dot.
Wow.
I mean, was just slamming the other dots on the way to victory.
Might have been the race of the year.
That wasn't even the big hit. There was one before that just cold-cocked blue.
They might have had to separate the dots underneath the stadium after that race.
Yeah, I think there's some dot fisticuffs going on right now in the tunnel. Andrews has to get out of the way. Action behind Bonine in that Tiger bullpen. Andrews ground ball. Peralta going to try this again with Elvis. Dug out of the dirt by Cabrera. Back in the third inning, Elvis reached on a ball like that. All right, here's what happened with the dots. Watch out, Blue. Watch it, watch it. Come on. Oh.
Green has put up some kind of fight.
Can't believe Green rallied from that. I mean, seriously, Green is...
You think, without knowing any better, I think something was going on between the dots.
They might want to test green dot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overly aggressive tonight.
Some dot rage. Young into center field. Another hit for him.
Well, the only out he's made tonight, well, he had a sacrifice fly, was a ball just like that, only it was elevated enough for Jackson to make the play in the first inning.
Folks, Friday is at the ballpark. Those are Verizon Wireless Fireworks Fridays. The last one Friday, October 1st. You get $10 tickets, $5 parking. And a great post-game fireworks show. Go to TexasRangers.com, enter Verizon as the coupon code. Sponsored by Jack FM. There's going to be a pitching change made with David Murphy coming up. Murphy already with a 4 RBI night. They're going to want to get the lefty into the game to face him. So it's bye-bye Bonine. And the Rangers trying to build on a 9-5 lead. We'll see if they can do it when we come back to Arlington. extraordinary performance the last couple nights for David Murphy. What a series he's had against the Tigers. A lot of family back in the Detroit area. They were watching David Murphy put on quite a show. Had a homer and 2 doubles yesterday. Had a long home run tonight and 4 runs batted in. Don't mess with the Murph. Here is Daniel Schlereth into the game. Lefty to lefty. Three righties in a row going to follow David Murphy.
Last night, Schlereth came in to face one hitter. That was Bourbon to lead off the 6th inning. He got him. But it was a one at bat against one lefty. And conceivably, it could be the same thing tonight. Murphy, a left-hand hitter, followed by 3 straight right-hand hitters.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Remember, it is the Sonic Slam inning. Rangers already up 9-5, out hitting Detroit 11-4. Slowly hit. Inge will get rid of it. What a play, and then a bobble. It came out. Everybody safe. No, going to be out at second base, and that's a tough call for Hunter Wendelstedt to have to make. But they're going to say that Will Rhymes held it long enough on the bag.
The sign he was making was he bobbled it as he was taking it out of his glove, which means he caught it, and while he was transferring it to his hand, he dropped it. Let's see how we see it.
I don't know.
That's pretty close. I don't know if he ever got his hand on the ball or not.
Have another pitching change coming here too. That's a long flip. I don't think he was out, but that's just me. Ryan Perry will be asked to come on and face Vlad Guerrero. The Rangers still leading 9-5, and we're back after this. Host, in my own words, for Chuck Greenberg at 6 o'clock. Rangers live a little later at 7:30. Then your Ranger Mariner game at 8 on Saturday. That's your next broadcast on Fox Sports Southwest. The game on Friday will be on TXA 21. Here's Ryan Perry to face Vlad Guerrero. 1 on, 2 out. Bottom 6, and the Rangers up 9-5. "26 hits the last 2 nights for Texas. A game that has featured the ejection of Jim Leyland, the Tiger manager. Murphy goes. Avila throws, and the tag not in time. A little bit of everything for David Murphy tonight. Not going to be a 30-30 man this year, but he could be a 15-15 man.
Well, you're talking about some similarities between what David has done and what Josh has done. David now is 13 out of 14 stealing bases. Josh is 8 out of 9. So both of them have been very effective when they've stolen. Only thrown out once apiece.
Inning over. The Rangers failing to add to that lead, but they do lead, trying to grow their win streak to 7 and lead 9-5. Brought to you by the Ford F-150. Ford is the best in Texas, and by Fred Loya Insurance, where being local matters. Crowd of close to 35,000 tonight. 36 people away from 35,000 tonight. The Rangers lead the Tigers 9-5. Colby Lewis went 6 innings tonight. Did allow 5 runs, Tom, but only 2 of those were earned.
Yeah, I thought Colby did a good job. It's a quality start. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. He hurt himself a little bit. Could have had a real quick 5th inning if he threw the ball accurately to second base. But other than that, after a little bit of a blip in the 1st inning, a couple of walks who both scored, he pitched really well in the middle innings and got the kind of support that he wasn't getting for most of the season. In line to get his 11th win.
Will Rhymes with what we do not know. He is the number 2 batter in the order. Johnny Damon follows, and Cabrera. Rhymes reaching on an error in the 5th, one of the 2 Colby Lewis errors tonight. Going to poke one in the air to center. 1 up, 1 down. Nice start for Matt Harrison. Wilson Betemeet has just hit a grand slam. The Royals lead the A's 4-3. Thank you, Wilson Betemeet. And Merry Christmas, Ranger fans. Now, Christmas could come in October for Ranger fans this year. A magic number to cement Some October baseball could be as low as 8 by the end of tonight. Damon to center field. Bourbon's got a race still going. Another dropped baseball. And another one that wasn't easy. That's going to be the 100th career triple for Johnny Damon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think the hardest part of that was getting the jump and sprinting to get to the ball in the first place. And Julio lunged, jumped, and just couldn't quite keep it in his glove. It was a beautiful play. He went a long way for it. Damon gave it a nice ride. Julio wasn't playing particularly deep. When he jumped, it went in his glove and bounced right out of it. Nice try, though.
Had one in and out of the glove of Cruz in the 5th, and now one in and out of the glove of Bourbon. Damon tripled in the 9th inning yesterday. Now Cabrera is going to test out Bourbon. That ball really up there. But Bourbon will squeeze it. It's a sac fly. Second straight sac fly for Cabrera. That's a jumbled looking line score tonight, isn't it?
Tigers have 6 runs and 5 hits. Three walks had scored. And of course, the error that we talked about led to 3 unearned runs.
The big inning for the Rangers was the 4-run 4th. Most of that was a David Murphy 3-run upper deck home run. Nice little 4 RBI night overall for Murph. Casper Wells has come out on deck, and the Rangers do have Ogando in the bullpen if you want to match up with a righty. A drive in a left center. Boy, Rayburn really blasting away in this series. He has hit it out. The Tigers are right in this ballgame. 2 doubles and a homer for Rayburn. Now with Wells announced as a pinch hitter, we'll see if the Rangers make that move and get Ogando. Well, Harrison allowing a triple, a long sac fly, and a home run. And this thing is not in the books quite yet. It'll be Ogando against Wells. When Rayburn, we were talking about him earlier, Tom, as a David Murphy type. He's had the exact night tonight that Murphy had last night.
Yeah, he's swinging the bat well. And you talked about it earlier, how hot he's been over the last 6 weeks.
Back in a moment to tell you about Ogando. With the 10:30 a.m. Big 12 live kickoff show, you got Iowa State and Kansas State Air Force at number 9 Oklahoma. That's your morning and your afternoon here on Fox Sports Southwest on Saturday, 9-7. Texas over Detroit. A 3-run fifth and a 2-run seventh. And the Tigers are back in this game. Here's Ogando to face Casper Wells. Hey, not 96,
That's
only
weird.
95.
That's very weird. Must be something wrong with the radar gun.
You usually put it down in ink at those fastballs from Ogando are right at 96. So Wells pinch hitting for Bosch. Peralta on deck. Seems like the Rangers have a larger lead, I guess, because they're out hitting Detroit 11-6. See if the Rangers can get a little bit more back in the bottom of the 7th inning. They'll have up Nelson Cruz and Ian Kinsler. But Minnesota creaming Chicago again, Tom. It's 8-2 tonight. The White Sox are all but done.
Yeah. Tampa Bay, I couldn't tell if they won or not.
They did.
I think they won. Minnesota, after tonight, will be 1 game behind the Yankees for the best record in baseball.
That could be huge if there's a Game 7 of an ALCS between Minnesota and New York.
Yeah.
And it's in Minnesota.
Right now, Minnesota has won 87 games. The Yankees 88 games.
The tying man's going to come to the plate for Detroit. Wells 5 for 6 in this series.
Well, we didn't know much about Casper Wells, but it looks like he can put the bat on the ball and make something happen. That's for sure. Not an easy guy to get a line drive single off either. Guy with a hard slider and a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
And you're right, Tom. His name is not exactly done up in neon. You don't know that much about him or some of these other younger players like Will Rhymes, but just like we didn't know much about Brennan Bosch, he came up in April and he started off really well.
The Tigers have given opportunities to a lot of young players this year. Austin Jackson, a major candidate for Rookie of the Year. Now they've got guys like Rhymes, Wells in the lineup. Avila is a younger player. Rayburn's a younger player. Sizemore.
Peralta fouling this one. Now the Tigers, and there's the young pitching too. They'll like their chances in 2011. Been a disappointing 2010.
Anytime you can start the top of your rotation with arms like Verlander and Scherzer, you've got the makings of an outstanding staff. Rick Porcello's still a young pitcher. Very young, without much minor league experience, but he's got a great arm too.
Oh, 1 to Peralta is inside. And Tom, I know you're curious about this, and that the Yankees-Tampa Bay game tonight, they almost got to 30,000 tonight, 29,000 to watch the battle for first place.
3 games and never got to 30,000, and they kept going. Whoever won got a half a game lead. They went back and forth the whole series. Tampa Bay won the series. Didn't even draw 100,000 people.
Well, they didn't draw in 3 nights, but the Rangers drew in 2 nights here to see the Yankees.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was about a tie. Anyway, 4-3 the final in that one. Tampa Bay holds them off. Soriano getting save number 43. Runner goes, and a foul. That one at 97 from Ogando.
Yankees have lost 8 out of 11.
The Rangers a big reason why. Been a triple and a homer in the inning. Tigers on the verge of coming back to within 9-7. Colby Lewis, the Ranger pitcher of record, trying to get win number 11. Needing help from the bullpen. Bouncing ball. Andrews got it. Couldn't get it away to Kinsler. Scored a base hit. Boy, Elvis hit the deck hard. The go-ahead man coming up now. It's a dangerous Brandon Inge. 4 hits in the inning, the last 3 with 2 out. Maddox out for some counsel. You definitely have to be careful with Inge. His power numbers are down a bit this year, but this is a guy that's had 27 homer seasons in the past. Straight on heat for strike 1. Quickly 0-2. Pop-up. Will it come back for Moreland? He went and got it. 7th inning stretch in Arlington. It's 9-7. Baseball fan Chevy, a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs right here in the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about their commitment to youth league baseball, go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. 34,964 at the ballpark tonight, seeing an entertaining ball game. The Rangers trying to shake off the Tigers here. They've come back to within 9-7. Jim Leland has been ejected. There have been 5 errors in the game. We've seen a bunch of infield hits. A couple of long home runs, too. Ryan Perry, a guy that throws hard and effectively for the Tigers. Facing a hot swinging Nelly Cruz. 2 doubles and a walk tonight. Slider missing from Perry. Lloyd McClendon's been making the pitching changes for the Tigers. There have been a few of them. Galarraga lasted only 3 2/3 tonight. Lloyd McClendon used to manage the Pirates, you might remember. That ball ground foul by Nelly Cruz. Lloyd McClendon grew up in Gary, Indiana. Was a Little League World Series hero. At the same time, the Jackson 5 was getting all of the Gary, Indiana headlines. Jacksons went on to do their thing. McClendon went on to a nice major league career. Cruz with a walk. With that Little League World Series just passed, Tom, Lloyd McClendon, every time that World Series comes around, somebody brings up legendary Lloyd. He hit home runs in all 5 swings he took in that Little League World Series he played in.
Wow.
All 5.
They didn't play as many games back then, I don't think. It wasn't double elimination like it is now.
They called him Legendary Lloyd for doing that.
Wow.
They lost to Taiwan in the finals, with Taiwan walking him 3 times in that deciding game.
He must have walked a lot. If they got to the finals, he only had 5 swings. He must have been like Babe Ruth for Little League back then.
There are your Kinsler's cuties. Kinsler, a drive to center. Here's Jackson going back again. Turns, gone!
Oh, where this game is going, it's a good thing the Rangers keep on scoring because the Tigers are tough outs tonight. Say that those two are officially back and in mid-season form after time on the disabled list.
Yeah, Cruz and Kinsler missing 56 and 58 games respectively. Now they're back and they are belting those baseballs. Moreland is out. Walking a homer, and the Rangers lead 11-7.
We'll put a charge in that one. We've seen a lot of balls hit well to center field that haven't carried out of the park tonight. Jackson made a tremendous play up against the wall. Bourbone's run a couple down out there. But Ian got all of that one and drove it out into the grass in center field.
Heck of a scrum out there, too. Benji Molina takes. Trying to join the hit parade tonight. He's taken an over. Well, the Rangers yesterday, with a dozen runs on 14 hits, they've got 11 on 12 hits tonight.
Every Ranger has scored at least one run, except Benji's the only one. Needs to go deep right here.
That's not deep, but that's high.
It's high.
So that's pretty good. Rhymes on a night where fly balls have not been a certainty is going to make that catch. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh, time for the Ranger fan of the game. It has to be Josh from Waxahachie. You know, he got all decked out in paint, talked his girlfriend into it, along with his brother. Josh, here's also the keys to the Chevrolet. Just kidding on that one. Congratulations. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, we also got my nephew Jordan here. He's painted up as Kinsler. He's upset he can't be out on the field with the Rangers.
Oh, look, guy's crying.
Continue to have a good time. There you go, Josh.
Well, there's a lot of yelling out there, as you know. Who's having a nice, peaceful time? All of a sudden, everybody's yelling.
People screaming. Jim Knox out there, upsetting the little kids.
Wait, let's do that again in context. Jim maybe not.
No,
well,
Jim didn't do it.
No. Although, ground ball from Borbone.
Jim's a comforting influence out there.
Absolutely. He's available to babysit if you want to give him a call. 2 runs in the inning on the Kinsler home run. And the Rangers lead now at the end of 7 is 11-7. And even though that's not a full moon, we've got, you know, kind of full moon kind of stuff going on tonight. They just did the kiss cam here, and they had a real quick pan away from that particular kiss that was going on. Darren Oliver is going to take to the mound here, and reportedly, Tom, he's got a little contract situation here. If he gets into 59 games, his option kicks in for 2011 for $3.2 million. And here we go. He has just thrown a pitch, so that 58 becomes 59. He's just made $3.2 million.
Well, you know what? He earned it. It's not like he's got a 6.5 ERA, but just had to pitch in a lot of games for a lousy team. He's been a major reason the Rangers have been a solid team all year. And I think the Rangers gave him that option, and what they're saying is that, look, you have a good year for us. We want you back for the second year, and you've earned your option money. And he doesn't have to back up to the pay window each month. He's earned it.
You saw Davis in the game at first. Now Gerald Laird, the former Ranger, pinch hitting. At the end of the night for Avila. Harrison and then Ogando, and now Oliver out of that Ranger bullpen after Colby Lewis started. Strike bellowed out by Jerry Lane. That's going to end the at-bat for Gerald Laird. Rangers have scored in 5 of the 7 innings tonight. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, looked like it caught the corner.
Austin Jackson chips one. And that doesn't count. Nelly Cruz caught it, but on the rebound. We'll show you a catch that will make every highlight reel in America tonight. Your Coors Light Freeze Cam. Austin Jackson.
If there's a better one than this tonight, I'm going to have a good time watching the highlight reels tonight, because that's a winner right there.
Now, if you saw him play football or basketball or baseball at Denton Ryan, you're aware that Austin Jackson has some skills. One thing he still does do a lot of, though, is strike out. Leads the American League in that department. We'll see if the savvy Darren Oliver, about to turn 40, can get the rookie. Not yet.
No one in the league has a better average than he does when he puts the ball in play, which stands to reason. He's in the top 10 in hitting. He has a good number of strikeouts. He's still a young player, and as the years go by, he should be able to chip away at that strikeout total.
Gonna hoist that one towards center. Look at that ball take off. Back goes Borbone near the track, and he's got it. Yeah, Jackson's having the year that not Barry Bonds, but his dad Bobby Bonds had a generation and a half ago, where he had a 300 batting average, but led the league in strikeouts. In fact, set a record for strikeouts that stood for a while at 189, but still hit 300. Sizemore to pinch hit for Rhymes. Sizemore had a couple of hits yesterday. Rangers have a 3-run homer from Murphy tonight, 2-run homer from Kinsler, and a solo from Guerrero. Little bloop. Andrews back. He's got it. Darren Oliver with that 59th appearance to make him a little bit more cash for next year. And as you said, Tommy's earned every penny. Vladimir Guerrero now tied with Juan Gonzalez on the all-time home run list. David Murphy having himself quite a couple of weeks. 3-run home run in the 4th inning. Austin Jackson with some dynamite defense to rob Mitch Moreland. But no one could get what Ian Kinsler hit in the 7th inning. That gave the Rangers a lead of 11-7. That's the lead they hold right now on the bottom of the 8th. Changes for Detroit. Sizemore stays in the game. He's at second base. Earlier, those fans were trying to get a home run ball, the one hit by Kinsler. Fan in the red very glum that didn't happen for him. Jose Valverde is the new pitcher, and Laird stays in the game to catch him. This is the closer for the Tigers, but obviously there's nothing to close.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not facing him in a closing situation.
The Ranger win streak could be 7 if they hang on here. As you look at that new catcher we mentioned, Mr. Laird. And yep, Sizemore at second. Towards third, scooped up, juggled. Inge recovers to get Elvis. Billy Butler's 2-run homer has the A's down now 6-3. So right now the magic number is 10. Could be 9, could be 8 within the next hour or so. And the combination of Ranger wins and A's losses. And boy, it is starting to look, Tom, like this clinching thing could be happening on the road.
Well, you do it when you do it, but it sure would be nice to do it in front of the hometown fans. It'd be nice if you were so good you could kind of plan it that way.
The Rangers got to celebrate at home twice, but only once after a win. That was in '99. They beat up on the A's on September the 26th of 1999. There was a September 25th clinch, a September 27th clinch. So it's always been right around there, 25, 26, 27. The 3 clinch dates for the Rangers. 25th and 26th this year in Oakland. And indeed, that might be where it happens after all. Remember, if you beat the A's, it's 2 games right there off the magic number. 1 win for the Rangers, 1 loss for Oakland. Young is out. Murphy coming up. We'll have all the games in Seattle for you. The one Friday night is on TXA 21, and what a pitching matchup that is. C.J. Wilson, Tom, against Felix Hernandez.
Oh, boy, that's going to be a good one to watch. Yeah, Felix Hernandez. The Rangers have done pretty well against Felix. You wonder how sometimes with the stuff that kid's got. But they just kind of wait him out, make him throw a lot of pitches, and unfortunately for him, he hasn't had a whole lot of support this year. That's an offensive team that's really challenged, to say the least.
Murphy's hitting streak at 13 games now. That's a career best. You want Josh Hamilton back, no doubt about it. In the meantime, this guy is holding down the fort. Hamilton just still not quite right. He's tried to take swings and all, but it's just not working out for him yet. Valverde not real close there with Murphy. Now he's got to deal with Vladdy. Rangers have Scott Feldman working in their bullpen. They'll need somebody to pitch the ninth. I guess he could come right back with Darren Oliver, too. He didn't have to work that hard in the eighth. By the way, the closer, Neftali Feliz, congratulations to him. He's a daddy. Was actually not at the game last night when the Rangers played the Tigers. Was back in New York City where his wife gave birth.
Did he get there in time?
Yep.
Good.
A daughter named Nirali. So it's Neftali and Nirali is the daughter. Nerali. Congratulations to the Felizes. Murphy goes. Second time he's been running tonight. This time he's out. Only the second time he's been caught stealing all year. 11-7 is the lead as we get set for the ninth here in Arlington. F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Well, it turns out Neftali Feliz will pitch, even though it's not a save situation. Get him some work. An 11-7 ball game. The Rangers trying to get win number 82. Get to within 10 of the Nolan Ryan prediction of 92. And knock another game off of that magic number. Get it into single digits. And the Kansas City Royals are helping out tonight. They're beating the A's last we looked. Magic number could be 8. Johnny Damon, then Cabrera, then Rayburn for the Tigers. Colby Lewis online to get win number 11, has 11 runs that support.
Boy, Colby had stretches where we went 3 or 4 starts without getting 11 runs earlier.
Another sloppy game when you think about it. 5 errors total, 3 by Texas and 2 by Detroit. But the Rangers have been efficient up there at the plate. They've only stranded 4, and they've scored 11 times. Popped up, and Michael Young coming over. Has room. We say hello to Dana Larson.
Well, Josh, we are anxiously awaiting Rangers Live, the postgame show. Looking forward to wrapping up this tremendous homestand. We'll have postgame reaction from the key players and the manager. Steve Busby will join me. He's got analysis also. We'll answer your Ask the Analyst questions. We'll also tell you how you can vote on the greatest Rangers plays of the season, Big 12 buzz, and the latest from Valley Ranch. A busy postgame show coming up in just a bit, Josh.
Thank you, Dana. Looking forward to it. Feliz, last time he pitched in the 9th inning against Detroit, this guy took him deep back in April. Scary hitter. And Feliz is ahead of him 0-2. That went up too high at 98. This big crowd of about 35,000 on a Wednesday night, knowing that that magic number is very close to shrinking down to 9 now, and again could be 8 within the hour.
Charlie Pride.
He's pumped. On the ground, third base, Michael Young sets the feet. 2 down. Now, it's been fun all year, obviously, Tag, but now that you can get close enough to really smell the ocean, so to speak, you drive and you drive, you know where you're going. But you're close enough now to actually sense it. Here's Rayburn. Taking strike 1. This will be a 7-game win streak that follows the 5-game losing streak. I guess we'll just have to invite you to stay up late with us out there on the West Coast. Keep on tracking the Rangers the next week and a half. Well, it could have been 0-2. High fly ball should do it. And we're starting to count down magic numbers. We're at 9. Ball game. Another big night for David Murphy. Another win for the Texas Rangers. And as we've been saying all year, it's time. And now it's 9. And if Kansas City keeps on winning, the magic number will be 8. A 9.5 game lead for now. 82 wins, 63 losses. And good times at the ballpark tonight. Again, your final. The Rangers 11, the Tigers 7. Rangers Live coming up.